Downtown, I got that heat, let's go. Downtown, I got that heat, let's go. Downtown, I got that heat, let's go.
Yeah, we live. What up? Game 3 NBA Finals. It is a 7-point game as we speak. Now, I didn't even want to wait. I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and start this live stream and we'll just carry it through like the post game and discuss all the things that happened. Even here at the end, kind of in the tail end of the game, we got 2.5 minutes left. The Pacers find themselves with the edge, up 6 points against the Thunder. Game 3 NBA Finals. What up, Goon? What up, man? We're gonna do a call-in show today for anybody who wants to come on and discuss the game. If you're watching in real time, tap in after the post. We'll go ahead and post that link. It's there in the chat for anybody who wants to tap in. The score is 110 to 104. Pacers up by 6. They've got the ball. Nope. Looks like a turnover. That'll go to OKC. So OKC down 6. Looks like it's off of Siakam's foot. And that will be OKC's ball. Down 6, and there's 2 minutes, 20 seconds about. Yeah, the Thunder don't have much wiggle room the rest of the way, and the Pacers defense has been very good in the fourth quarter, causing OKC into turnovers. Chet for 3, blocked by Miles Turner. Yep, I knew it was going to come back to haunt him. Chet's 3-point shot is really, really slow and takes a long time to get released. I know that other NBA players see that, and I know the film study is there. Close out quickly, challenge the shot, and I think Chet's three can be blocked by Miles Turner, and he finally got it. Siakam dishes out to Neesmith. He misses. Rebound, Chet. Chet's rebounds have been fantastic this game. He's done a nice job of that. J-Dub out in transition. He gets the ball back to SGA, your league MVP. Siakam defends. SGA step back. Can't pull the trigger. Back out 9 seconds on the shot. Yeah, Mathurin has been fantastic, Goon. SGA misses. Indiana with the rebound. They push the pace. Siakam, other side. And it's good. SGA doesn't foul. Indiana goes up 112 to 104. This is probably going to do it. There's a minute 9. That's probably good enough. Probably. OKC will have the ball coming out of the timeout. They'll probably be looking to draw up a play to get an open 3. If it's there, they'll take it. Hopefully they make it. If not, maybe look for a quick 2 and then try to get a stop. Right? You don't want to sit around dribbling the ball too much because you're not going to want to be in a position to have to foul until you get to, 25, 30 seconds. Yagun, he has been fantastic. Mathurin has been very, very good. Just to kind of highlight how good he's been, he has scored 25 points with efficiency, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 9 of 12 overall from the field. 2 out of his 3 3-pointers have gone in. He has a block. He's played really good defense. He has an assist. He's been rebounding the ball. He has an offensive rebound. Yeah, he's been really good. And really for, I think, Mathurin, it's the fact that he plays really good defense, right? And he can give you 25. I mean, he's picking it up. Like, Neesmith has 7 points. Miles Turner has 9, and Nembhard has 8. Those are your starters, right? So your starting lineup, 3 players give you 24, 25 points. And then Mathurin gives you 25 by himself off the bench. And actually, that's a conversation we have to have about this game. The bench for the Pacers showed up. You know what I mean? All right, action is back on here. Thunder, looks like J-Dub draws the foul. He'll go to line to shoot 2. Yeah, he has been phenomenal tonight. He's been excellent. Mathurin, really, really nice job tonight. And you know how the Pacers do. Like, just because a guy starts doesn't mean they're going to be playing all the minutes. Like, Mathurin is playing starters minutes. He's logged like 23 minutes so far in this game. So has Aaron Neesmith. He started. So I think that's what Rick Carlisle went with when he noticed that Neesmith wasn't really impacting the game. He gave the extra minutes, I think, to Mathurin. And TJ McConnell has been pretty good, especially in the first half. Very impactful. He was able to get them some points. All right, the score is 112 to 105. And I think it's OKC shooting another free throw here. There's a minute left. J-Dub at the line for his final attempt. And he misses. And if he actually would have followed his shot, I think he would have had the rebound. All right, Halliburton dribbles. Caruso defends. Double team. They get the ball out. They rotate. They hold. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Looks like Neesmith. Siakam in the paint. Spin move. Out to Halliburton. Halliburton pulls up. Stop for the Thunder. J-Dub gets the foul, and that'll be on Neesmith. Who is that? Yeah, it's Neesmith. I think Neesmith is that 5 fouls on Neesmith or 6? Oh, he fouled out. Yeah, that's 6. I figured he was in foul trouble. He had 4 fouls in the third. So, very aggressive defender, kind of handsy, right? So you're going to get the whistle quite a bit. All right, Pacers up 112 to 105. I think this puts J-Dub at the line for 2 attempts. He just missed his last one. First one is up. He missed. Wow. J-Dub not even giving his team a chance. Man, those 2 points would have been clutch, right? 35 seconds left. If he would have made those 2 free throws, I mean, we're talking about a 5-point game, 2 possessions. Wow. So the score is 112 to 106. Pacers. They'll inbound. Casey Wallace defends. Caruso defends. They send the double team. They foul Neesmith. Or who is that? Mathurin. They foul Mathurin. All right, so he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. I think there's 27 seconds left in this quarter. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of things we could discuss about this game and what the Pacers did to kind of adjust after their game 2 loss. Okay, so no free throw, so it's ball out. Now they foul. I think this will send the Pacers to the line. Rick Carlisle did it again. Mathurin to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2. Benny Mathurin, 25 points in 22 minutes. Man, you can't beat that with a stick. All right, Chet is going to check in. Caruso will sit down. Looks like they'll go with a bit of an offensive lineup, if you will. You know, Mathurin's been hitting his free throws. He has been fantastic from the free throw line. They take out Dorton Caruso. They bring in Chet. Let's see here. They got J-Dub in there. SGA's in there. J-Dub is doing. He's taking his good old time. Chet for 3. He misses. Casey Wallace with the rebound. Looks like he was fouled, maybe. Like a loose ball foul, possibly. I think they're in the penalty, so that'll send him to the free throw line. Score is 114 to 107. I don't think the Pacers are going to relinquish this lead. I don't see it. All right, Casey Wallace misses his first free throw. They're down 8. Oh, there's a lot of blame to go around for OKC. And then there's a lot of congratulating for the Pacers. All right, Pacers will inbound. It's 114 to 107. 17 seconds on the clock. And that'll probably do it. Oh, Siakam with the finish. There's no time left. All right, this game is going to end 116 to 107. Pacers get a huge game 3. And we're going to talk about the weight of that game 3. If I remember correctly, and the game is officially over, final score is 116 to 107. All right, so I went ahead and I posted the link in the live chat for anybody who wants to tap in and discuss the game. Let's start first by discussing this game, and then we'll kind of get into, you know, what this game means for the Pacers and what it means for the Thunder. So, like, what they're going to be looking forward to for the next game and different adjustments. So, first of all, I think we have to talk about the Pacers winning this game, right? I'm not going to – I mean, there's always blame to be assessed and placed onto the team that loses. But the Pacers came in with a game plan after like losing pretty bad in game 2. Like they got beat handedly. Like it wasn't really that close, right? It was basically a 20-point game the whole way from the second quarter on. So something was wrong with the Pacers. Clearly they addressed it. They fixed it. They tended to it, and they got themselves a big win. Not an easy win. This game was close the whole way. The difference maker for this game was the turnover differential. I don't think there really is anywhere else to look for, just from a team standpoint, right? Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers, what impacted this game? The Pacers had, I think, what they have, 13 turnovers. Pacers had 13. OKC had 17. Right? Previous games, the Pacers had like 20 plus turnovers, right? So there's that part. So just from a team kind of assessment, you turn over the ball, you're losing possession, you're giving the other team chances, that kind of thing. So I'd start there. I think also for the Pacers, they were really getting inside the paint. I mean, they made their threes too, but they weren't falling in love with the threes. You know what I mean? So here's to give you some perspective. I think the Pacers took like 40 some threes last game. This game they took 27. 27 threes in a game, in an NBA game, is like, those are in-game flow kind of threes. You're not just taking threes to take them. You know what I mean? It's within the natural flow of the game. They only made 9 out of 27. They didn't shoot that well. 33% from 3. The Thunder actually shot better from 3. Now, when it came to the rebounds, and this is what I'm trying to kind of explain, the Pacers took care of the ball much better, but the Thunder rebounded the ball much better. So the turnover differential that was hurting the Thunder because they had more turnovers, they made up for it with the rebounds, which is why the game was actually pretty close. But the turnovers are very difficult and challenging to overcome against a team that's as good as the Pacers. The Pacers moved the ball better. They definitely moved the ball around, and it led to higher quality looks. The Pacers were more aggressive defensively. You'll see that they had more blocks, more steals. Some of that is also home cooking, like you're the home team, right? Those were the calls that the Thunder were getting in games 1 and 2. Now that you see the Pacers kind of having that edge. So I think the Pacers ended the game with 14 turnovers. The Thunder ended it with 19. And fast break points, the Pacers were able to get 17 points. They weren't getting those kind of points in game 2, right? So that was also noticeable. Points in the paint. The Thunder conceded 50 points in the paint. The Pacers were living in the paint. That's where they wanted to get their shots. Paint points, those are close shots. You take your chances with that. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw from a team standpoint. And then from individual efforts, like the actual players, look, Chet Holmgren had a good game for a while. I would say his first 2 quarters, just like game 2, his first 2 quarters are phenomenal, and then he fades. He disappears. I don't know if anybody's going to talk about this, but I'm going to. Chet Holmgren was excellent in the first quarter and the second quarter. I don't remember him doing much in the third and the fourth quarter, especially offensively. He was still impactful with the rebounding. He was still impactful defensively. I mean, 7 feet, he moves pretty well. Like, that's a good combination for defense, right? But he had 20 points to end the game. And most of them, I mean, he was getting his points off of free throws, right? Being aggressive. He was 0 for 6 from 3. Guys, he is not shooting well from 3 in the playoffs. In fact, he had one of his shots blocked from 3 tonight. Miles Turner blocked his 3. And I'll tell you why. Chet Holmgren's set shot release is very slow. He has a very slow developing shot release. And Miles Turner was able to close the distance. He's a big. He's an NBA big. So he closed the distance. He goes up for the block, and he deflects it. Chet, I think in the offseason, has to fix that. I actually legitimately think he has to fix his 3-point release. It needs to be over his head which is very difficult to change at this point of his career, but over his head, or it needs to be faster because guys are blocking it. He had 10 rebounds. One of them was offensive. He had 2 assists. He had a steal. He had 20 points. He was actually good in the first half. He was a Houdini disappearing act in the second half. I want to speak to Jalen Williams, Mr. J-Dub. J-Dub was actually really, really active tonight. 26 points, 9 of 18 shooting. I said on another stream, shout out to the Format Podcast, J-Dub should be taking 20 shots a game. There is just no other way. Like, if SGA is getting 20 shots a game, I need J-Dub taking 20 shots a game. And actually, Chet could take 20 shots a game too. I think those guys could take 60 shots, and I'd be good with it. The problem is they're not making their threes, and they're not really taking much of them anyways, but they're not really making them. You know who was making his threes tonight was Lou Dort. He made 4 out of 5, and it kind of helped him stay in the game because when he was hitting them, they were important in terms of timing. 12 points for Lou Dort. You know what he gives you defensively. Scrappy got some rebounds. Cason Wallace kind of quiet, played 24 minutes, kind of limited role even though he started. I did see Alex Caruso get a bulk of the minutes off the bench. Excuse me. Alex Caruso was pretty good. He had 8 points. He's mostly in there for defense. He came up with a couple of steals, but he didn't have the typical Alex Caruso impact because he wasn't getting the points. That's kind of like if you're a team and you're playing the Thunder and you got Alex Caruso dropping 15, 20 points on you, that hurts. And he wasn't able to give you that tonight. You didn't get anything from Aaron Wiggins. He was a star in game 2. You didn't get much from Isaiah Joe. 4 minutes of action. He did come in and score a couple of buckets, but just 4 minutes, right? So Isaiah Hartenstein was 18 minutes. He had 4 points, a few rebounds and such. But, guys, the game, the Thunder lost in the fourth quarter. The Thunder lost because of turnovers, and especially turnovers in the fourth quarter. And it led to them getting no points on a bunch of trips on the offensive side. That's what this game boiled down to. For the Pacers, pressure, defensive pressure. The Pacers were challenging every shot. They were reaching, going for steals. Tyrese Halliburton had a beautiful telegraphed interception pass that led to points on the other side on a fast break. They were anticipatory. They were playing the passing lanes. They had active hands. They were rotating. They were rebounding. They were getting stops at the end. They caused turnovers. The Pacers fixed their defense. You guys saw my film breakdown on the Pacers defense in game 2. It was atrocious. But in this game, in game 3, the Pacers defense was hellacious. It was excellent when it needed to be. They weren't perfect, right? The Thunder scored 107 points, but in today's NBA, that's pretty good. Guys are scoring, They were good. Shout out to Rick Carlisle and the Pacers. For anybody that doubts the Pacers, right? You can't do that anymore. You can't doubt the Pacers anymore. Here's what I'm saying. Tyrese Halliburton was good tonight, right? He had 9 assists. He had 11 assists. He had 9 rebounds. He had 2 steals and a block. He did turn over the ball a little bit, but he was actively engaging on both sides of the court. Very typically, the home cooking does that for you, right? Like, you play better. And then you got your extra out-of-this-world performance from Benny Mathurin with 27 points. Pascal was excellent, right? Very good defensively. 2 steals, a block, and he got you some points, right? The reason why we're going to look at the series differently now is because if you look statistically at who wins game 3 when the series is tied 1-1, I think it's in the favor of the game 3 winner. Like 80% of the time goes on to win the finals. So I'm not saying that is a foregone conclusion that the Pacers are going to win these finals. I'm just saying that the odds, the probabilities favor them. So you're going to kind of lean that way. And who are we to argue, right? Who are we to say that this Pacers team is any different than the previous teams that in a split series won game 3. So you can kind of start leaning towards the possibility that, yeah, the Pacers have increased the likelihood, their probability of winning the series. And that's not it, right? Like, that's not the end of it. The Thunder can still win this series. Like, here's the discussion we can have. The Thunder go into Indiana, lose game 3. And then the Thunder bounce back in game 4 and win. Now you have a split series going back to OKC. And we know how good OKC's defense is and how good their offense is playing at home with that crowd, right? You got the league MVP, you got a comfortable Chet, a comfortable J-Dub. You got, the bench can kind of step up, your role players can have some games and have some moments. So even though the Pacers win game 3, if OKC wins game 4, you feel like this series is like a stalemate because basically every team has won an away game and won a home game. And that's, it's like a 50-50. Now the Thunder, what they have to do. What do the Thunder have to do to win game 4? Well, I'm going to start by just focus on the things that they did poorly in the fourth quarter, because game 4 is going to look a lot like this. I think the Thunder are going to win game 4. Like, if you force me to make a call, you force me to predict or project who wins game 4, I'm going to go Thunder. And I'm going to go Thunder in a close one. But the reason and what I think the Thunder are going to have to do, they are going to have to clean up the fourth quarter. You can't have 4 or 5 turnovers, 6 turnovers in the fourth quarter. That cannot happen. The fourth quarter has to be clean. It's got to be like turnover free. Like maybe one, right? You got to play super clean. And that turnover cannot happen inside the last minute. Because if the game is close and the Thunder turn over the ball, Halliburton's going to get the ball. And you know what he could do with that last shot. He will take it and make it. Now, even though I'm projecting the Thunder to win, that's not a guarantee. I'm not putting money on it. I don't bet. And I've been wrong so many times on these Pacers. But I do think that the OKC Thunder feel the urgency. They know they can't go down 3-1. Because I think there's only one team that's ever come back from a 3-1 NBA Finals deficit. I think it was the 2016 Cavaliers. I think that's it. I don't think anybody else has. So you would be basically saying the Thunder would have to do the hardest thing to do in the NBA Finals that's only happened once before, and they're going to be the second team to do it. What's the likelihood of that happening, right? Very, very low. Just do the stats on that, right? So I think the Thunder come out with their hair on fire. I think they bounce on the Pacers early. I think the Pacers punch back, and it becomes a dogfight the rest of the way. But I think the Thunder find a way to get the win in Indy, and the series goes back 2-2 to OKC, and then we're having some very, very difficult conversations about this series. Like, who's going to win the best of 3? Right? If game 4, if the Thunder win, this then becomes a best of 3 with 1 game in Indiana and potentially 2 games in OKC. And you got to lean Thunder in that case, right? But I can't sleep on the Pacers. They keep proving everybody wrong, including me. They keep proving me wrong. I keep waiting for the Pacers to choke. But, they don't lose 2 games in a row. And I keep waiting for the Pacers to buckle. And they don't. They keep a cool head. And I keep waiting for them to choke and stop believing in themselves and just abandon their team philosophy. But their resilience is through the roof. This is how you build a team. Rick Carlisle and his guys, their philosophy, They stick to it. They don't deviate from their plan. They believe in themselves and each other, and they just find a way. You can't sleep on these Pacers. So I am picking the Thunder to win game 4. Maybe it's kind of selfish, right? Maybe I'm looking at this from a fan perspective. So I like the Thunder and I like the Pacers. I think they're amazing teams, but objectively speaking, because my team was bounced out of the playoffs by the Pacers, there's a part of me that wants the Pacers to win. I love to see people be wrong, even if it means I have to be wrong. I've been a firm believer of the Thunder all year long. I did not believe in the Pacers all year long. In fact, I didn't even really look at the Pacers until the very end of the year, like the last few weeks. And I said, okay, this team's getting hot at the right time. This team's got some nice players. They've got, a credentialed coach who's got a championship and he's a proven commodity. And then I started reading the stories about like Tyrese Halliburton being the most overrated player by his peers. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's some bullshit. This guy's coming into the playoffs. He's hit a game-winning shot in every series. I mean, they beat the Bucks in 5? Then they beat the Cavs in 5? Then they beat the Knicks in 6? And here they are in the NBA Finals, up 2-1, with a chance to go up 3-1, game 4 at home. We can't keep sleeping on these Pacers. We can't keep sleeping on Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Benny Mathurin, Aaron Nesmith, TJ McConnell, Miles Turner. We can't keep doing this. And I respect OKC. Like, I really like what they got going on. It's a tough place, but if you're an NBA fan and you just want to see good hoops, you're getting it, right? The NBA Finals have been absolutely phenomenal, right? We even got some explosive dunks from Obi Toppin tonight. It was a good game. It was a great game, actually. The only thing is I wish OKC would have taken better care of the ball, and we could have got like some real high stakes kind of possessions at the end. Because honestly, it just seemed like the last 2 minutes, it was just desperation from the Thunder, Man, I'm a big fan of what's going on right now in these NBA Finals. It is exciting. All right, so what are you guys going to see? Game 4. You are going to see a desperate OKC Thunder that knows a lot rides on that game. And they know that they can't slip up. They got to come out with the win, because if they lose, they're down 3-1. And that really hurts their chances to win the finals. They know how big it is, right? Man, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys. I really do appreciate it. Goon, appreciate you for checking in. I'm gonna obviously make some videos on this game. I'll probably do some film breakdown. I think it's important that I make a game 3 Indiana Pacers adjustments video, because game 2 they had some serious defensive issues. They really did address those in the fourth quarter of this game. They really played things phenomenally, and I'm going to show you guys why the Pacers won this game. We'll do some film breakdown. Look forward to that. I'll probably do that sometime tomorrow. But thanks for watching the stream. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of the evening. We'll see you guys soon on the next one. Actually, we'll probably do a live reaction video, live stream for game 4 when that does happen, which I think would be Friday. All right, solid. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.